Welcome back here. Short break, and we're back for game number 2. About a 30-minute break, Chloe, between the 5-inning run rule that we just had here for game number 1, and now Riley Ford to start game number 2.
Yeah, it was a great game, number 1. Started off a little bit shaky, just in case you missed it. It was a little shaky in the beginning. The Lions were kind of playing down to their opponent's level. Agnes Scott, they are, 0-2 on the season. They're really struggling so far. The Lions, though, in the bottom of the third, just absolutely let loose.
So pretty much the exact same defensive setup for Piedmont. Minus one change. You've got Madison Henry behind the plate. Again, her and Hannah Morgan flip-flop, so this is a regular change. Hannah Morgan now goes to the DP spot. Madison Henry comes in to catch. Lowry at third. Allen at short. Partlow at second. Kara Taylor at first. Your outfield remained the same as well. Votava in left. Nerva in center. Hannah Smith in right. Batting order did change a little bit. Macy Allen gonna get some hacks here. We'll cover all that on the offensive side for Piedmont, but it's 1 pitch, 1 out for Riley Ford.
Yep. Quick early start for the Lions. This game, the last game ended pretty quickly, but in the very beginning we were thinking that this one might go all the way. Not this time. Not this time. Early start for the Lions.
And we talk about hitting your way into the lineup on the offensive side, but this is an example of pitching your way into the lineup. Chloe, again, 2 series ago, we saw Riley Ford get out of a second and third, no one out situation to keep Piedmont in the game against Wesleyan, as this one's grounded to Lowry, fired to first for out number 2. She bailed the Lions out of a rough situation. They went on to hold that 3-3 scoreline into the bottom of the 8th, where Hannah Morgan walked it off, and then here on Monday had another fantastic showing out of the bullpen, and now gets the start.
And that's excellent stuff, taking advantage of playing when you're playing well. Keep on playing well. So looking like she's going to try and do that today. She's already got 2 up, 2 down. We'll try and go for the 1-2-3 inning here in the first. And so far she's ahead in the count, so it's going pretty well for her so far.
Yeah, looking extremely good. Riley Ford comes into today making just 4 starts prior to this one. This is start number 5, as that's a great rise ball for strike number 2. Big swing and a miss. Yeah, Ford comes into today, 3.54 ERA. It's working its way down. She's appeared in 8 contests, 4 of them out of the bullpen, 4 starting. She is 4-1 on the year. She'll look to move to 5-1 here today. The 0-2, big swing and a miss. Same pitch, same result. How about that, Chloe? 1-2-3, and we're headed to the bottom of the first. Back here for the bottom of the first, Sydney Strama to get things started for Agnes Scott. She'll be in the circle for this contest. She has 2 of the 4 wins for Agnes Scott here, Chloe. So we'll see what she can do against this difficult Lady Lions lineup.
Yeah, we're seeing the lineup come out. We'll see the start or the leadoff. Kennedy Votava. Votava in the last game went 2 for 3 at bat. Good stuff for her.
It moves her back to 500 on the year. 38 at bats, 19 hits. On-base percentage of almost 600, as well as she does have 8 walks to just 1 strikeout. I mean, that is so efficient. She's been in the 9-hole, Chloe, for the most of the year, but obviously with no Caitlin Isley today, a little bit of a shakeup in the lineup. She's hitting leadoff for Game 1 and now in Game 2.
I mean, it worked out well for her. Maybe she'll have to, make Coach Terry Martin scratch his head a little bit and say, hey, maybe Isley's got to run for her money.
So big change down in the bottom half of the lineup. Again, no Emma McBrayer as your DP is Hannah Morgan. Morgan is slid back to the 5th spot. Madison Henry now hitting cleanup. Partlow in the 6th. Riley Ford, who is pitching in the 7th. Macy Allen gets to swing at this time. She'll take Hartley Nerva's spot in the 8 hole, and then Hannah Smith in that 9 slot once again. 2-2 count to Votava here. Oh, just off the plate for ball 3.
Going to be a full count here. Votava very early making the pitcher get her money's worth for the at bat here. And that'll be really high, and we'll get a first walk.
Love it. Leadoff walk from Kennedy Votava brings up Jasmine Lowry.
Next up for the lead.
Lowry had a great game last time. 2 for 2 at bat. Had 2 runs while she was at it. So looking to want to continue off the early success in Game 1. You see Votava already looking like she wants to go ahead and take second.
She had 2 RBIs in that game as well. Big swing and a miss. That one didn't have as much velo behind it as she was expecting. She was way early.
You mentioned 2 RBIs. I don't know how I missed that, but you're right. She was 2 for 2 for 2 for 2. Looked like that was her lucky number. Although she does wear 3. 0-1. She's really early on that one.
Votava slides in safely at second. She was out by a decent bit, but the throw pulled the shortstop towards first base, and it was high. So Votava able to duck in under with the stolen base. Jasmine Lowry is behind 0-2 here. At this point, she's got to get a ball in play. Try to make something happen. The 0-2 is hammered. Foul over head coach Terry Martin. Put his hand up as a joke trying to catch that one. He knew it was foul, and we'll go 0-2 again. That's 3 swings in a row that Lowry's been early here, Chloe. She's having trouble staying back.
Yeah, it really needs to take her time here, maybe take a deep breath. Still got no outs. It's not, obviously you want to get on base, not the end of the world if you don't.
Oof, and she's punched out there on the 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, down looking goes Jasmine Lowry, and now Kara Taylor to step up to the plate here.
Taylor was 1 for 1, or pardon me, she was 0 for 1. She did have a run, though, and an RBI to her.
Hit by a pitch in that game as well. Good take there from Taylor. And she got hit on the hand in that game because we mentioned she wears that big arm guard
on her
left arm.
She wasn't the only one hit by a pitch. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of them that got hit, so looks like she's doing
squared
pretty
the bunt
well
here and pulled it back as Votava's taking third, and it was a good throw, but the shortstop a little bit late on the cover. It's Votava, 2 stolen bases, now stands at third, and Kara Taylor just has to put 1 in play for an RBI.
Yeah, good stuff from Votava to get there quickly. A little lucky on the bobble from the shortstop, but still, she's now made her way to third. Maybe something can happen here, not before a ball, and a 2-1 count.
Good block there by the new catcher here, Anna Whitmer. Did not catch in game number 1, but catching here in game number 2.
Whitmer's a righty in comparison to the last catcher, who was safe barely.
Yeah, that was close.
That was extremely close.
Good job by Votava to get back in, but just barely. A couple changes for Agnes Scott.
The last catcher for Agnes Scott was Kylie Thomas. She was a lefty, so she's able to get up for first really quickly off the bounce, and it's that almost a double play, but instead we'll get our first run of the day, or pardon me, of the second game here. A lot more better early start from the Lions, looking like they're wanting to get this game done a little quicker than they did the first one.
Manufacturing runs. It's ground ball to short, fired to first. Votava, a little bit of a hesitation there, actually almost thrown out at the plate, as you said, but she does go sliding past. The throw was not on target, and so now with 2 gone, Madison Henry up to bat here. We'll see if she has any 2-out magic with her, or if this is the end of the bottom of the first.
Henry Madison went 2 for 3 at bat, including one absolute just smash that we saw in the first game.
She's ahead here 2-0, so we'll see if she can repeat that. Definitely going to want to try here. Plus count for her. Good opportunity to really get something going. She'll take that for strike one. Thought it was up, did Henry, but ruled a strike here. Zones do change umpire to umpire.
The last umpire was a little tight with, and that's going to be a hit, maybe a single, and it definitely will be a single after certainly was an error. She went up to scoop it, instead just completely missed it. Number 30 for Agnes Scott.
I think they're going to rule it a hit, so no error there. It's a difficult one. It almost, the ball landed, it just started spinning. I mean, it's an unorthodox hit. That's what happens when you catch it off the end of the bat. Are we already going to get a change here? Oh, they're going to take a look at the ball. Terry Moore wants to see it again. When the ball gets hit like that, and it has so much spin, they've got to make sure there's not a slice or anything in the ball. It's very rare that it happens, but it definitely is possible. So, ump rules that the ball's good. We've got that checked, and now with 2 down, Hannah Morgan steps up to the plate, and maybe some 2-out magic.
Who is this number? 36.
First pitch down. They're going to fire behind and not get Henry there, so it's a 1-0 count.
One-0 count, 2 outs. Ooh. Saw Madison Henry looked like she's taken off a couple times in a row. First time she had to go down to the bag. Second time, pitcher just stayed watching.
Madison Henry just 1 for 1 on the year on stolen bases. They really think she's trying to go somewhere over there as they fire over yet again. Counts 3-0 and holds up her hands to head coach Darren Olivo and said, I'm not going anywhere. Why are they throwing at me? And so the 3-0 now. Called strike on Morgan just at the top portion of that zone, and the count will move to 3-1.
The pitcher, Sydney Strama, really struggling to get ahead in the counts here. She's struggling here now, and it'll cost her.
That one's lined into left for a 2-out single, and now with 2 gone, Piedmont went from looking like we were potentially ending the inning to a walk and a single, and now Lindsay Partlow, who has been, I mean, seeing a beach ball is the only way to say it. She has been gapping the ball left and right recently this week, and she had crushed a double last game.
Yeah, Partlow was great last game. Had a couple times where she went up, she hit one. She also got, she also got a run. And she was also hit by pitch, but obviously she's doing mighty fine. That hit by pitch did not phase her one bit.
Behind 0-1 here, now even at 1-1. Uh-oh, Henry just got caught out in no man's land. Henry going to have to force a way back into second there. Maybe on the move. Terry Martin and her getting another good laugh. His lead was a little aggressive there. Did not see what the call on the pitch was. Believe it is 1-1. Big swing and a miss there from Partlow. We'll confirm it. Count goes to 1-2. One-two to Partlow. Called strike 3, and that will end a late rally for Piedmont. They get just 1 in the inning on 2 hits and take a 1-0 lead to the top of the second. Inning number 2 and game number 2 here from the Walker Athletic Complex. Piedmont leads 1-0 after the first frame here, and it'll be 4-5-6 for Agnes Scott here. Emma Martin to lead them off. They'll have Colleen Thorson due up second, and Kinsey Doran up third.
Riley Ford wanting to do a repeat of the first inning there with a 1-2-3, but that's going to be a high hit, and it will not actually count as a hit. It's part of my language there, but that's a quick out there, almost in similar fashion to the first.
We'll take it. One pitch, one out. Recorded as an F9 there. So Colleen Thorson. Kennedy Boudoir, excuse me, mispronounced that the first time. Boudoir stands on deck. Thorson into the right-handed batter's box. Ooh, pulled that one up and away. Pulled Henry all the way out of her crouch just to grab that one. Did Ford, and she'll be behind 1-0.
Thorson went 1 for 3 in the first game. She struck out a couple times.
That one misses down and in for the 2-0 count. So quickly behind here goes Ford after getting the first out on one pitch. Now gets back into the account. That's a good spot there to make it 2-1. This one's down in the dirt for ball 3, and now a plus count for Thorson, who, like you said, Chloe, has already had, kind of some struggles here today. She'd love to get back in it here. With this one, just one hit to her name. Good swing on that one, but fouled back.
Fouled back and really try and make Riley Ford work here. Full count here.
Ford's done a good job to battle back into this one. Being down 2-0 and 3-1. She's worked it back full. We'll see what she has for the 3-2. Not going to get the chase. Went with the rise ball. So that will bring up Boudoir here. Boudoir did not see action in the first game here, so this is one of the changes for Agnes Scott as she's playing first in this contest.
She'll be a lefty coming up.
Oh, pitch to Boudoir, went with the rise ball again, not going to get the chase, and Ford now, after looking extremely strong, Chloe is having a little bit of trouble finding the zone consistently.
Yeah, just needs to, get the jitters out. Obviously, she did well in the first inning, but, it's sometimes easy to get a little too confident with yourself there. Needs to, calm herself down. Maybe even not humble herself. That's not the word to use, but, make sure that she's got an equal balance of respecting her opponent and believing in herself.
It's a great way to put it there. Counts 1-1 for Boudoir.
Talk about respecting the opponent. We had, heavy swing there. We talked earlier in the doubleheader about, the Lions sometimes playing down to their opponents. And, they need to obviously respect them, but obviously at the same time play their game and know that they're in second place for a reason in the CCS.
The 1-2 pitch from Ford. Big swing and a miss there. Boudoir down on strikes. That'll bring, again, another new face in the batter's box. Anna Whitmer. She's the catcher of record for this game. And then behind her, Kiki Mays. Another defensive change there. Kiki playing second here in game number 2. Batting in that 8-hole. The 7-hole stepping into the box now. So Ford's battled back. Has 2 down. This one flied out to shallow left center. On comes Nerva. She can't catch it. Nerva stays down as well. The play is still live. Fire to the plate. The run will score.
It looks like she's sitting up now, but she's certainly still in some pain.
We'll take a short break here as the training staff heads out to take a look at her. Back here, Nervous stays in the game. Run does count. That play stayed live. So the scoreline 1-1 now.
Scotty scored their first run of the day.
Kiki Mays now into the game. Second baseman batting 8th. Bella Leonardo, the right fielder, awaits on deck if this one drops, but it doesn't. Lindsay Partlow able to grab it, and that will end the top of the second. Scores tied at 1.
Pitcher, Riley.
Back for the bottom of the second here, Riley Ford into the box. It's 7-8-9 due up for the Lady Lions. Allen and Smith before they turn it back over to the top with Votava here. Second inning of work now for Strama.
Riley Ford's got a 3.33 average as a freshman pitcher. Pretty decent there. We'll see her first action of the day at bat, and she'll foul that one off for the 0-1 count. We saw the Scotties score their first run of the day last inning. Lions want to pile some more on here.
Riley Ford, one of the lone freshmen that actually get to hit. Terry Martin has a very upperclassman heavy lineup. Some sophomores get some playing time, but not a lot of freshmen have gotten the opportunities at the plate just because of how talented this team is. But Ford generally hits when she's pitching.
Sure is, and she's the only freshman in the lineup today.
Behind 0-2 here. Oh, that one just off the plate. Changeup doesn't quite catch the corner. Count will go to 1-2. One, two, just misses inside. Count will go to 2-2.
2-2. Good stuff by Riley Ford to get back in that count.
See if the discipline holds here. She's taken two very close pitches. Big swing, foul down the left field line and back into the field of play. Shortstop will have to pick it up and throw it back to the pitcher here. Count will remain at 2-2.
And obviously you want to get a base hit here, but it wouldn't be a bad thing to keep fouling these off. Let's try and get the Aggies, or pardon me, the Scotties pitcher, Strama. Ooh. Oof, that one came extremely close to us.
That one comes all the way back in, almost off the window there. Goes over the plexiglass, hits a pole, and
yeah, it's a good thing we got the window closed today. It would have been a different story.
Might have been able to catch that one if the window's open. The 2-2 once again. Ford pops this one up. It might hang on in foul ground, and it will. Catch is made by the left fielder, Presley Hicks. Good play by Hicks. Had a couple steps before she found the fence, and so that'll bring Macy Allen to the dish. Oh, here. Ground ball to short. To first, Allen's out at first, and it's one pitch for the second out, and now the 9-hole hitter, Hannah Smith.
Right fielder number 24, Hannah Smith.
Hannah Smith with 1 for 2 in the last game. She had a run to her name as well.
She'll take that one outside for ball number 1. Smith hitting just .211 on the year. Again, hasn't had too many appearances at the plate, just 19 thus far. She's appeared in 19 games, made 12 starts. She watches strike number 1 on the corner. One count. Fouled back, and Smith now down to her last strike. Breeze is slowed down here at the Walker Athletic Complex softball field. Still a healthy breeze going at baseball. Blowing out to right field here. Smith sends this one in the air towards center, and it'll drop in for a single. Hannah Smith, some two-out magic, and once again, Piedmont's found a two-out hit.
Now at the bat for the Lady Lions, left fielder number 32, Penny Botana.
We're back at the top of the lineup. Botana scored the lone run for the Lions. She got her single and then just decided to steal every other base.
It's a great way to put it. She stole second, she stole third, and now they need another hit from her here. Good drop down. What a bunt here. Down the third base line. Fielded, and there's going to be no play. Uh-oh, Hannah Smith stepped a little bit too far. Just juked the shortstop. Headed to third, and she'll be safe. What a play from Hannah Smith.
That's phenomenal from Hannah Smith. Wow. That was a great, we can't take away from the hitter there. That was great stuff from Votava.
Yeah, beautiful bunt. Smith rounded second way too far. She was going to take third as the third baseman had fielded the ball about halfway down the line. They threw it to the shortstop, and Hannah Smith just put her in the spin cycle. So how about that? First and third, two out, and so now Jasmine Lowry to the plate.
Hit the button. So now we know.
At least we know now that if we hit it, it doesn't hurt.
No. Pretty funny.
Lowry squares to bunt, pulls it back. They're going to fire to third. They'll concede the stolen base at second. So now runners in scoring position. It was a ball on the pitch. Count is 1-0. Umpire just held up 2-0, but there's only been one pitch to Lowry, so that's not possible. That one's inside again for the count to go 2-0.
Lowry had a good first game, and her first at-bat, and this one, she did strike out.
Oh, that's
and that
hammered.
would be a beautiful hit.
To center it goes. It'll score one. It was hit so hard. It was hit so hard that it doesn't score another run. Lowry's playing chicken out at second. They're going to fire it to second, and they get her. Another base running mistake from Piedmont has just run them out of the inning. So Piedmont escapes the inning with one, but they run themselves out of a first and third situation, and we're headed to the top of the third with a 2-1 scoreline.
Also on that.
Back here for the top of the third, 2-1 scoreline. Piedmont, another base running mistake, has run them out of that inning, and Riley Ford's now back out for her third inning of work.
Because, like, the walk.
She's going to go down in the count to start so far. She's got 2 strikeouts, 1 hit. Obviously, the 1 run against her, but the Lions have made up for it slightly when it comes to the offensive side of things. We'll want to make sure it stays low here.
Air, nothing off.
Now the count's even at 1.
9-1-2 for Agnes Scott here. Ella Leonardi, excuse me, to lead off this inning. Oh, before we turn it back over to the top portion of the lineup, that's a great pitch there from Riley Ford for strike number 2. Popped up in the infield. That's a mile high. Lowry waits on that one to come down for out number 1.
It's popped up way high, just I want to say a little bit early there. But good stuff for the Lions there. 1 out.
For the Scotties, center fielder number 9.
Now Gilbert back to the plate here. Gilbert had a monster game number 1 there. Was a very difficult out to get in the 2-hole. She's now leading off for the Scotties.
Yeah, Gilbert did really well in the first game. Went 2 for 3 at bat. Had really make Breyer work for it. She was probably one of the only people in the lineup to really give her a ton of trouble there.
Yeah, the 2-3 punch there of Gilbert and Thomas really had found success against McBrayer. I believe they were combined 4 for 6. Something of the sort there, both with multiple hits. And besides that, the Agnes Scott lineup, you were correct, Lloyd, pretty much struggled. But those two had solid games. Not so great here. Oh, but that is a hit by pitch. That's how you manufacture some work there, as that's the 5th hit by pitch of the year for Riley Ford.
It's unlucky there for Ford. She's been pitching relatively well so far this game. It's early, but still. So unlucky there, but certainly can still make something happen here. Already got the 1 out.
So Kylie Thomas into the box now, the DP batting 3rd. Emma Martin, 3rd baseman, hitting in the cleanup spot, waits on deck here. Riley Ford would love a ground ball and to force Martin to lead off the next inning with a double play.
Thomas had struck out in her first at-bat.
Excuse me, this is Presley Hicks in the box. Kylie Thomas stands on deck. Oof, that one's up, fire behind, and it's an errant throw. It won't count as anything, as runner diving back in. Hannah Smith was there to field the throw, and the count will go to 1-1.
Like that dive might have hurt Gilbert a little bit, just tapping her chest some. But we'll see Hicks. 1-1 count. And that'll be a ball to go 2-1. On the correction for the hitter, it's Hicks who is hitting right now. She grounded out. Earlier I said Thomas, so it's our mistake.
Thomas has not reached either. She has a strikeout, as that's a big swing and a miss there for Hicks. Count will go to 2-2.
It's a beautiful day to be playing softball.
Yes,
oh my goodness. Probably one of the best days we'll get all year.
Ooh, great pitch. Not going to get the strike called. The count will run full here. I would agree. That's sunny and 70 here in Demorest. The 5 o'clock shadow starting to set in. It can get a little bit difficult to field ground balls, or excuse me, fly balls and anything on the ground, particularly to second. Here, that glare is brutal. This one grounded to first, fielded. They'll need the tag at second. They will not. Wait. They called her out at second. That was not the correct call.
Now
They're
we'll
going to
see.
conference to get this correct, but she was safe at second. They needed to tag her, and the tag was extremely late. I think the umpire called her on a force play there. They should go back and correct this play. Runner will be. Yeah, so the runner is safe at second.
Okay, so just add 1 out.
So it's a. Yeah, just an awkward scenario there. Lack of communication between the umpires. She's definitely safe at second. Terry Martin knew she was safe. He was going to take the out call and run with it, but either way, it is a ground ball, force out at first, and with 2 down now, there's a runner on second for the DP, Kylie Thomas.
Designated player number 11, Kylie Thomas.
So now we will see Kylie Kylie Thomas come up to bat. So we're still seeing some conversation in the infield. It's Coach Martin with the discussion with the umpires. And now it looks like there's going to be another conference.
Coach Martin saying that she ran back to first base, but I think since she was called out, I think she was just jogging off the field. So they're going to put her at second, as it should be correctly there. She was exiting the field because she believed she had been called out. A lot of confusion going around on that play. So they will give the explanation to Terry Martin here. Doesn't seem too appeased with it, but either way, I do believe it to be the correct call. And again, now you require a big pitch out of Ford here, and as a pitcher, I mean, she's taken 3 minutes off now. I mean, this is almost like the time you get between an inning. She really should be throwing some kind of warm-up pitches right now.
Definitely needing to keep that arm warm. We'll have to see what all this time off is going to do to her pitches.
2 good innings of work have been completed. You're 2/3 of the way through this one.
Good to see the umpires not getting frustrated with Coach Martin. I mean, he's a very tenured man here at Piedmont. He's got 601 wins to his name. So, I mean, he's surely got a right to be upset about the call here. Is that the rule book?
I have it's the umpire's notepad. I'm not too sure what we're taking notes on, but she should stay at second. Play should continue, or if they're just going to continue to kind of have this conversation, I'm pretty sure we've reached its conclusion. Maybe Terry Martin thinking about making a change now? Welcome to some of the fun that you can have in Demorest, Georgia here. Piedmont only leading this contest by 1. I mean, it is a big decision to make, but it's putting a little bit of a delay into this contest.
Large delay, and now it looks like all the umps are walking off the field.
Potentially consulting the rule book, perhaps, so we'll take a short break here. Don't go anywhere. One lengthy discussion later, we've got a runner on second, 2 outs. We're back on the broadcast. Davis Barlow, Chloe Spratlin here. And Chloe, we just keep on marching forward here. 1 out away from getting out of the top of the third is Riley Ford.
Yeah, certainly an out that they'll want to get, especially given all the discussion that we've just had. It won't start off there, and it looks like she's going to go grab third.
Risky throw as well.
It's a really good slide there. Almost slid off the plate. So now there's a runner on third. Score is 2-1 in favor of the Lions. 2 outs here.
So Ford, we'll see how this time off does her. This is a much longer break than you get between innings, and she is now all over the place.
Yeah, she barely warmed up, maybe for about 30 seconds to a minute. And we're going to see Coach Martin come out and talk to Ford.
I don't know if this is exactly what you need here. If you're Riley Ford, I mean, it's pretty clear that the time off has shaken her. The first 2 pitches haven't even been relatively competitive here. She honestly needs to find the feel again. I mean, that's the best way to put it.
Still Kylie Thomas, who's up to bat. Now she's taking some time with her coach, but at her first at-bat, she had just struck out to Ford. Looks like the conversation's over after last couple more words for Coach Martin.
Okay. No worries. We're all good.
So here we go again. The 2-0. Fouled off over the dugout. Riley Ford back in the at-bat, 2-1. Some of our production staff had kind of headed out for a break here. We weren't sure when the game was going to restart here. We'll slowly get everything going and back together here. As we're just 1 out from another short break between innings. That one's down in the dirt for a 3-1 count.
3-1, still a runner on third. Anything really could happen here. There's a lot of opportunities. Could end the inning, could be another run. And that's going to be popped up.
Hang on, ball. It won't quite do so. It lands just to the right of the press booth. And now the count runs full here. 3-2, 2 outs, runner on third. And now a big pitch here for Riley Ford. Can she work out of the danger? Piedmont leads this contest just 2-1. And she cannot. Misses down and in. It's a walk with 2 outs, and now they're on first and third, and Agnes Scott has new life as the cleanup hitter, Emma Martin.
Looks like that time off was probably the best. It was really a win-win-win. Every single win you could have in the book scenario for the Scotties. You had Riley Ford's a little shaken up because of the time off she had on the pitch. She had a runner go from second, or what was thought to be first, then made it to second, and then she made it on her way to third. You got a man on first now. Still 2 outs, but still, the Scotties certainly have the momentum right now.
It's a big shutdown opportunity for Piedmont to crush that momentum if they can pull it off. Up and in for ball 1. Ford just does not have the same control that she had before the long break. Again, if this were baseball, Chloe, we would have guaranteed had a pitching change, as the time off was just too long to cool down for her.
Seeing number 46, Emma Martin, up to bat.
Haven't missed much.
She's got the count even at 1. Her first at-bat, she had a fly out.
You'd love a second one of those here if you're Riley Ford.
Absolutely, a fly out would be the easiest way to get everything situated.
Oh, that was a big rise ball there that just barely gets fouled off, and now the count goes to 1-2.
Just slightly early there. Maybe a half a second later. Man, that could have been a bit of a problem.
So the 1-2 count here for Riley Ford. I might go with that pitch again. Martin barely got a piece of it. See what they choose to go to. Fastball down the middle, fouled back. And then we'll do the 1-2 pitch again.
Martin really making Ford work for this. Ford is certainly shaken, as we've said before. The Scotties are 100% taking advantage of that. I'm sure they've gotten some words from their coach.
Oh, big swing and a miss there. First base is occupied, and that shuts down the rally. So the longest top of the third and probably Piedmont history there finally comes to a close. We'll go to the bottom of the third with the score 2-1.
Lions, first base number.
Here we go again. Bottom of the third, 2-1 score here from the Walker Athletic Complex. Kara Taylor to lead off this inning. 3, 4, 5 due up for Piedmont here, Chloe, and we'd love another big third inning. Oh, chopped to third, fielded well, fired to first, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I think the Scotties were starting to get shivers down their spine, remembering what happened in the last bottom of the third inning the Lions had. The Lions went off. They scored 5 runs. Obviously off to a good start, trying not to repeat history, the Scotties are, but there's still 2 more hitters coming up at minimum.
And we have a big, again, we talked about it a lot with Riley Ford. Strama had the same amount of time off, if not more, and then she left that one over the middle, and it gets crushed back where it came from. It's a single to center for Henry, and we've got to see if Strama is as locked in as she was.
Certainly looked like it. Missed that one, or missed that last pitch, but the first one, she got what she wanted. First pitch, it was the first out.
Now for the Lady Lions.
So 1 man on base. Henry was one of those players in the first game that took advantage of the woes from the bottom of the third by the former pitcher, Hot 2. But this is a new pitcher, Strama.
Pinch runner for Piedmont here, setting up, and she'll head on over. It's Hannah Calloway to run for Madison Henry here. That's a pretty typical substitution there. Again, Calloway has made her appearances this year on the base passes. Again, she is extremely fast, a solid base runner there.
Bet you Henry's a little bit upset she's coming off, given the wild ride she went on in the last game. She had stolen a base. She had done some really, really good stuff.
So pinch runner at first. Ooh, Hannah Morgan at the dish, almost ate that in the elbow. Very lucky that she did not get hit by that pitch, and she'll have a 1-0 count to work with here. Fastball's up. Calloway's on the move. She'll take second here. This one kicks away. She'll hold at second base. Thought about taking third, and now a plus count for Hannah Morgan as it's 2-0.
She really thought about taking third, just hesitated a little bit too much. I bet you with her speed, because we saw her fly off the bag, with her speed, she might have been able to make it, but in the end of the day, probably the best decision to stay on second.
Conservative choice there. 2-0 now to Morgan. She just squared a bunt, pulled it back. Calloway has no one anywhere near the bag, so she can kind of hang out in no man's land for the time being. It's a strike.
Bet you Calloway thought about the last inning and didn't want anything similar. Decided, no, I'll stay on second so we can not have the umpires leave again to go consult the rule book.
2-1 here, way over the head of Morgan. It's 3-1 now. Lindsay Partlow stands on deck. Riley Ford would be due up behind them, assuming she's good to go back out for another inning of pitching. Again, it was a little shaky coming off the 20-minute delay. Changeup on the 3-1 pitch will freeze Morgan. Count runs full.
Morgan's got a hit to her name in this game already. She's got another one there.
This one's grounded to short, thrown to first. They'll get the out. Callaway advances to third.
So not quite supposed to be a sacrifice there, but certainly became one.
Number 9, Lindsay Bartlow.
If it works, it works. And now with 2 down here, Lindsay Partlow steps up to the dish, trying to give Piedmont a little bit of insurance here. Big hack, but it's popped up in the infield. Trending into foul territory. Catch is secured, and that will be out number 3. So Strama looks like she's good to go. Riley Ford potentially headed back out to start the top of the 4th. Back here in the top of the 4th, still a 2-1 scoreline. Piedmont, no changes. Riley Ford back out in the circle.
For the Scotties, shortstop, number 8, Colleen Thorson.
Thorson's got a run to her name so far after a walk. Do want to say she was hit by pitch.
Fouled straight back there. That's a good hack on the 0-0 pitch. Now behind 0-1.
The game at this time, top of the 4th, already a much more competitive scoreline than we saw earlier on. The Lions did not repeat history at the bottom of the 3rd, did not do an onslaught. Heavy swing there from Thorson. So now she's down 0-2. Riley Ford certainly picking up her game now after what was a little bit of a rough 3rd inning for her after all that time off. One of the longest innings probably in Piedmont history, especially without a run. And she will strike out Thorson. So next up in the lineup, we will see Boudoir.
That for Agnes Scott, number 18, first base.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night to Thorson there. Boudoir, the lefty, going to give it a shot against Riley Ford here. Agnes Scott down by just 1. Scoreline 2-1, despite getting run ruled in 5 innings. 8-0 in game 1.
Boudoir with a heavy swing at her first attempt, goes for the second, and she will instead just stay, and she will get a second strike. 0-2. She's already been struck out once in this game.
She really held her swing there. Thought about trying to poke that one the other way. Instead, she's confident she can deal with this with 2 strikes. Maybe it was a little overconfident. Big swing and a miss there. Riley Ford, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Just 1 more strikeout away from a clean 4th frame.
Riley Ford making amends after what was a bit of a messy 3rd inning. Certainly, she spent some time in the cage trying to, work on her throw a little bit.
Yeah, went over to the bullpen, tried to get loose. Again, such a difficult thing to do because you're not expecting to take that much time off in the middle of the game, and she's right back into the zone to Anna Whitmer for strike number 1. Whitmer only had 1 at bat on the day. Doesn't have a hit and an RBI. Did not play in game 1. Fouls this one back. Riley Ford, electric in the top of the fourth here, just one strike away. Chloe, I believe, I mean, that would be a 10-pitch inning?
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Might even be a 9-pitch inning. I don't know if she's recorded a ball in
I
this
do
inning
want to
yet.
say it is a 9-pitch inning.
Time to find out. Right down the middle, swing and a miss. She struck out the side. How about that from Riley Ford? Erases all doubts that she is back and locked in. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. 2-1, Piedmont lead. Back here, Riley Ford's day at the dish appears to be done. Kelson Lundell, 0-0, going to pinch hit for her here to lead off this inning. 7-8-9 for Piedmont due up. She'll take strike number one from Strama.
Strama having a good game so far.
Really is. Giving up 6 hits, but the Lady Lions only manufactured 2 runs thus far.
Yeah, really not able to capitalize like they did in the last game. Hoping to make that change here with Lundell. Her first at-bat of the day. Lefty with the 1-1 count. And she'll make contact, and that's going to be caught. It's going to be bobbled, though. So it's going to be a single for sure. Look to go to second. Instead, decides to stay at first. And Lundell, with her first at-bat of the day, makes something of it. Good stuff from her. And now we'll see Macy Allen up next. She's 0 for 1 on the day so far.
It's a good diving effort from Hicks out there in left. She just couldn't quite hang on, caught it, went to ground, and maybe the ground knocked it loose. But Lundell will record the single. Allen squared to bunt, then pulled it back for ball 1.
That was extremely unlucky from Hicks there. Great dive. Did everything but catch it.
So you have Allen, then Hannah Smith, and then, of course, you turn it back over to the top with Votava. Allen, early square here, pulls it back again. It's ball 2. So Estrama's struggling to find the zone here. Interested to see if they'll keep having Allen square here or make her throw a strike first.
He's already looking at bunt.
Yep, she's going to go ahead and drop this down. Sacrifice bunt.
Sacrifice, and that's phenomenal.
Wow. So it's a sacrifice bunt that ends up as a bunt for hit. Allen reaches, and now we should see the same thing over and over again. Hannah Smith pretty much should bunt here. Try to move the runners to second and third. Agnes Scott has to be aware of that.
Macy Allen with probably one of the best bunts you'll see all season long. Great stuff. Hannah Smith is 1 for 1 on the day with a run as well.
So here's the bunt from Smith. She'll pull it back for ball 1. She's definitely looking to bunt here. Piedmont's looking for some insurance runs. Smith came into the contest hitting .211 here, but she can do a job. Advance the runners here. Pulls it back for ball 2.
Lions saw the 7th and 8th hit so far of the inning, but really have not been able to make much of it. Only 2 runs so far in this game. Need to execute here and really, really pull this game away. Another bunt there.
Great bunt from Hannah Smith, fielded well. No play at any base, and it's another sacrifice bunt that turns into a hit. Too much speed on the base paths for this Agnes Scott squad to handle, and now the bases are loaded with no one out, and Kennedy Votava stepping into the box is going to draw a mound visit from the Agnes Scott head coach here.
Oh, he's going to get another chance.
V. Dagnino, excuse me, headed out to have a chat with his entire team here. I mean, you have to be wary of Votava potentially dropping a bunt here, maybe. I don't know. A bases loaded situation, it'd have to be a squeeze of some sort. I think you have to let her swing here, Chloe.
Especially the way Votava's hitting right now, especially today. On the season, she's above 5. She's got 500.
Okay, so Votava's headed back to the dugout, taking her helmet off. It's going to be a pinch hitter here. Might go with a power bat rather than Votava. Again, Votava, a singles machine. She's hitting over 500, but she has just 1 extra base hit on the year. Terry Martin has a very deep bench to choose from. So as they head back to the bases, we'll see who he goes with. He's going with Alexi Chitwood. So that was not the change I was expecting. A very similar hitter is Chitwood. Maybe a little bit more confident with the squeeze bunt here, or maybe has some sneaky power. Obviously, she's not a lefty, so not a slapper. Yeah, might be attempting to kind of punch one here. Chitwood's got a good swing.
Still no outs here. You can really do anything here. There's no fear of anything happening.
She's swinging all the way here, so really just trying to punch one. I guess this is what Terry Martin feels his best option is in this situation. Chitwood's ahead 1-0. No harm in being patient here. Strama has not exactly been in the zone this inning. She's fallen behind now 3 batters in a row, 2-0. Fell behind to Allen, who ended up bunting. She fell behind to Smith, who ended up bunting, and now she's behind 2-0 to Chitwood.
Not to mention, we've officially hit probably the brightest part of the day.
Caught by left field, and there was no tag at third. Base running mistake at third base. And it costs Chitwood the sacrifice fly. It would have been a close play at the plate anyways, and now you bring Jasmine Lowry to the plate with 1 out.
Lions, third base, number 3.
Lowry,
Wow.
1 and 2 on the day. Was going to say this is officially the brightest part. It's right about 6:50-ish, so brightest part of the day. Anything high is going to be extremely difficult for the outfield to catch.
Especially for the right side of the infield. You're looking almost directly into the sun here if you're at second, first, center, or right. Behind again is Strama 2-0. That's the 4th batter in a row. Chitwood, of course, swung at the 2-0. Every 2-0 pitch has been put into play. We'll see if Lowry chooses to break that trend or if she just wants to gap a baseball or a softball here somewhere. She does. Takes a big hack. It's just foul down the right field line. Count will move to 2-1 there. That would have scored at least 2.
Strama's already had a conversation with the coach. Actually, the coach brought every single player on the field into the infield to have the conversation. So looks like his advice isn't working as he planned because he's still behind in the count. It's going to be a heavy contact, but it's going to go all the way out. Foul ball. So now the count's even at 2, so maybe the coach actually doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe I should shut my mouth.
Fortunate break for Agnes Scott there that Lowry hit that one foul because that one was definitely out of here. Ground ball through the 5-6 hole. It'll score 1 to hold the runners. Oh, first base came to cut it off. That's an awkward cutoff. Trying to take home is Allen the flip. Catcher doesn't have the ball. She's safe at the plate. And that'll score 2 there. I charged the error probably to the first baseman there. No reason to cut that throw. Just ran in front of the catcher and knocked the ball away. It was a good throw from the outfield. But it'll score 2. Piedmont leads 4-1. Still have runners on second and third with only 1 out.
Yeah, just a lot of miscommunication from the infield there. The catcher and first base just really struggling to to make it count, to make it work there.
Yeah, first baseman again just cut in front of the catcher for no reason.
That's the catcher's job. Let the catcher do what the catcher does.
So now you bring Kara Taylor up to the plate here. Oh, she wanted that pitch. It is called strike number 1.
Taylor's got an RBI on the day. 2 ground outs.
Good as time as ever for Piedmont to find some power in this lineup. Kara Taylor came in to this game with 17 RBI. She picked up number 18 already in this contest. A single here should get her to number 20. Hammered to right field. It's up in the sun, difficult to see, handled well, and it'll go down as a sac fly as the runner scores. Hannah Smith crosses the plate. The throw actually went to third to try to get Lowry. They do not get her. And now with 2 gone, Piedmont leads 5-1.
We mentioned earlier that the sun is just absolutely brutal, especially to the right side of the field. The way the outfielder Smith was looking at it, I got a little nervous. I didn't think she was going to catch that.
As she was trending towards the ball there.
Pardon me, that was Leonardi.
Good job fighting the sun. We'll see if it works out. It does not. Madison Henry single through the 5-6 hole. Lowry will score. Piedmont leads 6-1.
That puts Henry 3-3 on the not on the day, but in this contest. Even still, in the first game, she was hitting just as well. This is looking like, since we're repeating some history here, we said last game it was the bottom of the 3rd that was causing some trouble. Now it's the bottom of the 4th. The Scotties are shaking in their boots. First pitch there.
And they throw behind Madison Henry once again as she shakes her head. That's multiple games. They've tried to get Henry out on the bases. Again, she's not really a threat to run, just 1 for 1 on stolen bases this year compared to some of the other Lady Lions who really like to steal bags. Morgan fouls that one off. Count will go to 1-1.
That ball's going to go all the way to the turf field, past the benches.
So it's 2 outs still for Agnes Scott, just 1 out away from escaping this inning.
Lions have done really well. Oh, man.
That is crushed. 1 bouncer to the left fielder. One of the hardest hit balls of the day, and that'll bring Lindsay Partlow up to the dish with 2 out.
Yeah, the Lions have done great so far on the day when it comes to 2 outs. And they've showed it there again. I was just right in the middle of my statement. There was another hit, so just great stuff. Partlow has had a good day so far. Not phenomenal in this outing, but in the first game she was pretty much unstoppable.
So Lindsay Partlow to the dish now. There will be a pinch hitter behind her if we are able to reach that spot in the order.
Oh, 1 count.
Partlow now takes that one. Great take there for Piedmont. There's Riley Ford's spot. The original pinch hitter in that spot might hold. It was Kelson Lundell. We'll see if she holds that spot as Partlow got a great piece of that one, just hooked it foul, and now is behind 1-2. It is Lundell who might get a second chance to hit there.
Wouldn't this be a great time to just absolutely smash it over the wall? Lions really struggling on home runs this year, only 2 on the season. A lot of RBIs.
Partlow is a sophomore. I don't even know if she has a home run in her career. She's shown some good power this year. She popped this one up, trending out of play, and it will head over the fence down there on the right field line, out of play. So the 1-2 count remains, and we'll do it again.
Still 2 outs, and a man on first, a man on second.
Piedmont with 12 hits now, Chloe. Much, much improved as that one's up and out. Count goes to 2-2.
This looks like the inning that'll never end for... Ooh, it's going to be fouled. The inning that'll never end for the Scotties. We thought that was the 3rd, that the inning would never end. Instead, it's the 4th here. It's actually going to come in favor of the Lions.
So the run rule has slowly crept its way back into play again. It's 8 runs difference after the 5th. Oh, and it's in play now. That one is gapped into the right center field, off the wall. One will score. Hannah Morgan coming around. She'll score. Throws to third. That's a triple for Lindsay Partlow. There it's an 8-1 lead.
Bet you a couple more seconds left. It could have been an in-the-park home run. Excellent stuff from Partlow.
Number 0, Kelsing Lundell.
Lundell will return. She was a pinch hitter for Ford, the pitcher.
So how about that? She gets to hit twice. A little 2-for-1 action here. We'll see if she can make the most of the opportunity. She got a great piece of that one to start the inning, Chloe. She had a line drive out to Hicks.
Sure did, getting rewarded for her efforts early on.
Big swing and a miss, big swing and fouled back. Almost missed that one.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Counts.
It's a 1-1 count. Oof, rough strike call there. That one's pretty far off the plate, and the count will go to 1-2.
Yeah, I can't say I 100% agreed with that one, but I'm not down there in blue.
Up and out there, count will go to 2-2. Catcher actually lost that one. No threat of the runner scoring as it stayed close enough. 2-2 now. This is a big run for Piedmont. It puts the run rule into effect going into the top half of the inning. If they can plate the runner from third. Down in the dirt.
Counts even.
Counts full here. 3-2.
Not full, my bad.
We'll see what Lundell has. Does she have the patience to take a walk? Do we get a strike from Strama that needs to be crushed? The 3-2. Ground ball, second base, fielded well. Piedmont will take the 8-1 lead into the top of the fifth here in Demorest. All right, Riley Ford back out there. So Lundell gets her 2 swings and her day will be done. Riley Ford back out to pitch here. Piedmont holding that 8-1 lead. Chloe again. If Agnes Scott does not score here, Piedmont needs just 1 run in the bottom of the 5th to end this game, but you got to get through a clean frame here. So it's Kiki Mays to start the top of the 5th for Agnes Scott. 8-9-1 due up.
Kiki Mays so far in the game had a fly out. And Riley Ford having one heck of a game so far. Still only 1 hit.
How did that not hit the batter there?
And Coach Martin's coming out early. And this might be the end of the day. Doesn't look like it yet so far for Riley Ford.
Couple head nods from Ford as she lobbies her case to stay in this game. Looks like she did it well enough. Quick chat from Terry Martin. We'll go back to a 2-0 count. Again, Kiki Mays, Leonardi, and then back to the top with Gilbert is the scheduled 1, 2, 3 for Agnes Scott. We'll see if they turn to their bench at all. here as we've gotten deeper into this contest. Great pitch there to battle back into this count. Count goes 2-1.
Starting to see the shade come up over the batter. The pitcher still in the sun. Can be a little bit harder to read the ball now.
That's a great point.
Basically, we hold them here and we score 1 run.
Popped up.
Bottom of this inning,
Oh, that's a high one there. Lindsay Bartlow scared me a little bit as she didn't look like she didn't quite see it, but it was because the outfielder Hannah Smith had called it. And that will be out number 1. It is indeed Leonardi.
Smith had ran really far, really fast to get there for that one.
So Leonardi into the box. Smith made the great catch, and now Piedmont just 2 outs away from having a chance to effectively end this game in the bottom of the 5th.
Leonardi with the fly out in her first at bat. Her second, she's gonna swing and miss. A 1 count. It's gonna be fouled.
So fouled down the third base line. Count will go to 0-2. Down to her last strike goes Leonardi. Thought we might get the lights turned on here at the Walker Athletic Complex tonight for just really the 3rd time in 5-6 years at this point, but with the way this game is trending, we likely are not going to see that. Once fouled off down the third base line, and the count will remain at 0-2.
Typically, you'd say you'd love to see some lights here, but you know the way the game's going, you kind of want to stay this one in the sun. Make sure that we get out of here as soon as possible. It'll get real chilly if not.
Fouled off yet again. Good fight. Ford looking for the one big pitch to get the punch out. Gilbert awaits as the 3rd batter of the inning.
Oh, 0-2 pitch. It's going to be high, really high. Brings the count to 1-2. Still 1 out. No one on base.
1-2 now. So what Ford draws up. Pulled that one a little bit. Should go back to the breaking ball that does not break back in. And the count now goes to 2-2. This is such a good fight here.
Yeah, Leonardi really battling here. Especially given that shade, she's doing a really good job of reading this ball. It's a high, high fly. It's going to be caught right dead center field.
Good job by Nerva there to battle the sun, make the catch, and with 2 down, Kristen Gilbert steps into the box. The junior trying to pass it back in the lineup. Presley Hicks stands on deck. Agnes Scott looking like they've had the wind knocked out of them here, Chloe, and Piedmont looking to finish this.
Yeah, almost like they've given up hope here. They had a lot of the momentum, but then after that last inning, just completely got sucker punched there.
Big strike 1 for Riley Ford as she goes back to work.
Ford's got the 1 and the 2, trying to go for the 3 in this inning.
She struck out the side last time she was in the circle. This time she's simply just worked through 2 batters. That's inside for ball 1, maybe.
Yeah, and she struck out that side with authority in the last one.
Having the Hannah Morgan type conversation with the umpire where she turns around to get clarity on where that pitch was located. That was a good pitch. Another 1-1. Big chase, and Gilbert now down to her last strike.
See them bring out some more balls after we're seeing a handful of balls make its way over to the soccer and lacrosse field.
So 1-2 for Riley Ford. You'd love a big punch out here. Got her looking, and just like that, Piedmont's headed to the bottom of the 5th with a chance to end this contest in Demarest. pinch hitter for Piedmont here to start the bottom of the 5th. This was due to be Macy Allen's spot, but it will be number 37, Bailey Davis.
Davis, her first at-bat of the day, didn't see action in the first, and it's her first bit of action in the second. She's sitting there jamming to her walkout song as Coach Martin talks with the umpire. The other coach for Agnes Scott comes out as well.
We're looking at some lineup card
Yeah, I know.
discretions here. Maybe Bailey Davis wasn't on the original lineup card. We'll have to. We know she's on the roster,
She's on the lineup card.
so it looks like she is on the lineup card here, as our stats man has informed us. And so she'll get to swing it here. So, Bailey Davis into the box. Bailey Davis, fun fact, has one of 2 home runs that this Lady Lion team has. Doesn't see too much game action, but has made the most of it here. We'd love to see home run number 2. It'd be a walk-off home run.
Sure would be a lovely, lovely way to end the day. But we'll have to see if it happens first.
First pitch there from the new pitcher.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like, I don't recognize her.
Oh, you should. It's Huttu. It's back in.
Really?
As Agnes Scott tries to hang on for this game here again. They're 1 run away from giving up 1 run, away from this one being over, but they'll get Bailey Davis to pop out here, and it's another pinch hitter for Piedmont here. This one's going to be number 22, Natalie Hansen, the freshman catcher, who can also swing
Number
it.
22, Natalie.
Huttu coming back in after
Also
playing most if not all of the first game. How often does that happen?
So Hansen here, first pitch swinging, fouls that one down the right field line for strike number 1. Believe we have Lexi
Natalie
Chipwood on deck. This is Natalie Hansen at the plate. She's behind 0-1. She is even 1-1. One's up. She's ahead 2-1. This one popped back. Count goes to 2-2.
Gotta believe, of course you want to get the walk-off homer here, but given the way the Lions have been playing this season, you gotta believe that the best way for them to finish this game off as early as possible is just get her on base and expect one of your, whoever's up next, to come up and, get something out of it.
Hansen's down on strikes as she swings through that one, and it'll bring Alexi Chitwood up to the plate here. So Piedmont, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, looking like we potentially might be headed to the top of the 6th here. Again, Piedmont's still leading 8-1 in this contest, but Huttu's come in and really gone to work.
Sure has. Huttu had a very, very good game in the last outing. It's just that bottom of the 3rd that was really her kryptonite.
This one's poked into right. Throw's going to go to first, and Chitwood is safe at first base there. That was a tightly contested play. Thought the umpire might punch her there, but it's a single to right field for Lexi Chitwood. And now that'll bring Jasmine Lowry to the plate here with 2 gone.
Lowry.
3-2 on the day. Got a run to her name as well, Lowry is. Lowry's just had a great day overall.
Yeah, the 2 hits are fantastic. 2 RBIs to her name as well, and we'll see if she can make it a 3rd one here. Ground ball to second. Long, big bounce, but it'll be fired to first as Kiki Mays makes the play. We'll head to the top of the 6th here. 8-1, your scoreline. Top of the sixth here, scoreline 8-1. Riley Ford back out there once again. She's had a extremely solid fourth and fifth innings. Chloe, not surprised they're going to let her go for this sixth inning, though there has been a little bit of activity in the bullpen, so maybe a shorter leash for her here as far as wiggle room on some of these hitters.
Yeah, certainly had a great game so far. Only one hit, only one error as well. We'll see how she can do here. Top of the sixth. First pitch, swing, and a miss. A 1 count.
But if you remember, Chloe, the only hit in this game was the ball that Nerva dove for in center and just couldn't quite hang on to.
Yeah.
Run did score on that play as well. But besides that, this has been a fantastic game for Riley Ford. She's even in the count at 1-1. That one just a little bit too down.
Yeah, even then, that large hit that Nerva couldn't hold on to, I think that was still the only hit, or pardon me, the only thing that even remotely got past the outfield. Or pardon me, past the infield.
That one's down in the count for, or excuse me, down in the zone for a 2-1 count. Run rule is still in effect here, so Piedmont's going to continue to really try to shut down this Agnes Scott offense and see if they can generate some of their own. Big swing and a miss there on the 2-1. Count will go to 2-2.
Yeah, Hicks completely missed that one. Was going way wide. Probably would have been a ball there.
Hannah Smith was pinch hit for, but is back in defensively in right field. Lexi Chitwood, of course, took over in left a couple innings ago. That one's down for a 3-2 count.
Seeing the shade pretty much take over almost every single part of the field.
Except right where the pitcher's releasing the ball. That's brutal. Just noticed that. So it comes out of the sun, disappears into the shade, and disappearing back into the dugout is Hicks. She's down on strikes. They'll bring Thomas to the plate.
Ford in the sun, in the shade, is getting it done either way.
We'll see what Thomas has in store here. Two up after her is Martin. Again, this was 2-3-4.
Thomas with a walk and a strikeout.
It's in the dirt for ball one.
Thank you.
It's a pitch. It's going to be 1-1. Good stuff by Riley Ford.
It's a great spot.
It's a heck of the day for the freshman. Going to go out foul past the fence to make the count 1-2. Still one out. It's a pitch, and that's going to be hit, but it won't matter. It's going to be the second out, ground out for Hicks. So who's coming up next? Looks like, or pardon me, that was Thomas. So it's going to be Martin stepping up.
Next up for Agnes Scott.
Had a strikeout and a flyout. Certainly struggled today in the first game and in this one here.
Good job by Allen to stay down on that ground ball there. It really never hopped up. It's outside for ball one. Riley Ford just 1 out away from working out of the sixth. One's down. She's behind 2-0.
Ford is down. Gotta wonder that in the event that Martin here does make base, do you think that's when Coach Martin goes to his bullpen?
Potentially. I think it could definitely be a scenario. Riley Ford fired that one in for strike number one. Yeah. I mean, you're at a point with Ford. I mean, this is one of her longer appearances. You add in the 20-minute break where she basically had to restart the entire pitching process. I mean, she's only given up one hit, and that's a line drive to Allen. She'll secure that one, and just like that, Piedmont's out of the inning. So we will never know. Going to the bottom of the sixth, Piedmont, chance to win it again. 2 back out on the mound here. Kara Taylor to lead it off here. No pinch hitter for her. Madison Henry to follow. And then scheduled to follow that is Hannah Morgan. We'll see how well Piedmont sticks to that. Just one run away, Chloe, from ending this one.
Really, really close to getting this one out. She's had a decent day so far. Sack fly, 2 ground outs, fly out, but 2 RBIs.
That'll get the job done. It's 14 hits for the Lady Lions in this contest. 8 runs to back it. 1 run in the first, 1 in the second, 6 in the fourth. It's been 2 trouble innings, really, for Agnes Scott here, Chloe, today. That's kind of doomed their competitiveness.
Sure has. 8-1 the score, just waiting on 1 more run from a certain team in green. That would end it. Instead, we're still here. Bottom of the, or pardon me, top of the 6th.
Kara
It's
Taylor.
bottom.
Yeah, but you're correct. Bottom of the 6th. Kara Taylor thought about getting hit by that pitch. Instead, moved as it's a little bit late in this contest to be getting hit. And it won't matter either way. 4-pitch walk to Kara Taylor, and she'll head down to first base. So, pinch running Logan Hawkins.
And if there's anyone you want at bat with a pinch runner on first, it's Madison Henry. She's been absolutely stellar today. She's 3 for 3 on the day, or pardon me, in this game. And the game before, she still was doing absolutely phenomenal. So, 1 run to her name, an RBI to her name as well.
Henry's at 12 RBIs on the year. The only one ahead of her is the lady that just walked, Kara Taylor. First pitch, that's called a strike. So the count will go to 0-1 here. Piedmont has Hannah Morgan standing on deck. She's walked us off once here before. That was in extra innings this past weekend. Big hack there from Madison Henry, but she's now behind 0-2.
Madison Henry, very much so a power hitter, trying to go for power. You saw it on that foul there, just a little bit early. But no outs here. 0-2 count.
Might have gotten the chase. Runners on the move. It's Hawkins, and she's caught stealing.
Caught stealing. She's going to stay on base. Although I do believe she was called out. There she goes. Now she'll make her way off. It's probably Coach Martin not wanting a repeat of what happened in the 3rd inning. In case you missed it, there was a long discussion with the umpires.
Umpires leaving the field to go consult that answer. But the 1-2 pitch to Henry here, fouled off. We'll do it again.
She was early last time, late this time. 1-2 count. Still trying to make something happen here. Hot 2 with the pitch. 1-2 count. It's going to be early once again. Fouled. Madison Henry certainly making Hot 2 get her money's worth in here. Hot 2's already probably got some fatigue on her. She did pitch the entirety of the first game of this doubleheader.
Another foul ball as Henry just continuing to fight up at the dish here, trying to make something happen now with 1 gone.
Last 2 fouls almost identical.
I'd say the last 3.
Yeah.
All extremely similar.
Henry battling for it. See if she gets it here. 1-2 pitch. And that's going to be popped up super duper high. Shortstop's going to go up for it. Almost collided with her left fielder.
Yeah, they share a good laugh about that one. Maybe the left fielder didn't call it loud enough for a little bit of confusion, but either way, it's out number 2, and now Hannah Morgan up to the dish here. This is Piedmont's last chance to end this game before we head to the top of the 7th, where they'll be able to just shut it down from the mound. And Riley Ford should go back out there. Allowed just 1 hit on the day. Hannah Morgan at the dish. 1 out to work with, and she's ahead in the count 1-0.
2 for 3 on the day, with a run to her name as well.
I have a new catcher, too.
Ground ball to short. It was hard hit, but fielded well. Well, to the top of 7th. See if Piedmont can close it out the old-fashioned way. We need 3 outs to be done here in Demorest. Lights are on, but we're not really under the lights here. Just giving a little bit of extra visibility here as the sun almost completely set over the trees to our back left here. Riley Ford, a fantastic game, Chloe. I mean, we've harped on it here, and she's got a chance to close out the one-hitter right now.
Yeah, absolutely deserves the win here. She was great. Had a couple times where she got herself into trouble, but guess what? She came right back with vengeance. Specifically, that 4th inning, had about 9 pitches. Every single one of them were Ks.
And she looked extremely rough after the long break caused by the umpires in the 3rd inning. Battled out of that inning, then came back, as you said, and just electric. Macy Allen, diving play, not going to get her at first, but it's a great effort nonetheless. So it's an infield hit for Agnes Scott. That's their 2nd hit of the game.
Won't quite be a 1-2-3, but still opportunity to make the game end rather quickly.
Pinch hitting for the Agnes Scott squad here is Alina Zapata. Alina Zapata. Here Zapata takes strike number 1. Ground ball, potential double play here, or if you're Riley Ford, maybe catch a bat that isn't quite awake again, Chloe. Very difficult to pinch hit nonetheless in game 2 where you saw no action in game 1.
Especially against a pitcher as hot as... Ooh.
They'll turn it just for fun. I believe they would have been safe all around. So fortunate break for Piedmont. It was a foul ball.
Now stepping up to the box for Agnes.
No, that one was definitely foul.
Number 12.
Yeah, definitely a foul ball. So we're going to reset them here. Not too sure what the confusion seemed to be, but counts 0-2. Runner on first. Zapatos now back in the box, and we'll see what Ford has in store for us for 0-2. Runners on the move. That's a ball on the pitch. It's not a great throw. A little bit too high, and the runner will successfully take second.
Zapata still at bat. Count is 1-2. So it's not the quick inning we were hoping for, but still looks like Coach Martin believes in the freshman Ford, wants her to close out this game.
Pitches inside again, fired behind, ooh, and almost got the runner there, almost caught her napping. Throw was so low it looked like it was going to Ford. Ford just left it and hit Lundell perfectly, almost got the out, or excuse me, hit Partlow perfectly. 2-2 swing and a miss. It's a strikeout for Riley Ford. 2 outs away from closing this one out.
You got to give credit to Agnes Scott. Still here, still trying to steal some bases, still trying to make something happen, go out with the fight. can always appreciate a team that, you know, plays with pride despite the heavy score line. They were run ruled in the first game, almost run ruled in this one. It's going to be called a ball.
It's a good pitch from Riley Ford. Not going to get the call.
Count is 1-0. 1 out, man on second. It's already stolen.
Beck Littlehale, the batter here for Agnes Scott. Runners on the move. She's gunned by a mile. Lowry applies the tag, and it's out number 2. Aggressive play there, but definitely not the right one. Henry makes up for her less than perfect throw to second with a dart to third, and now Piedmont just 1 out away from ending this one.
Would absolutely love a fly out here. Something simple to first. We'll see if we get it. 2-0 count. Let's see, Ford try and make her way back into the count. Maybe wants to end this way, end this one with a strikeout. 2-1 the count here.
One's outside for ball 3. Now in a dangerous spot here. Hitters count. Maybe go with the changeup here. Try to make it look like you're giving something good to the hitter. Get a rollover and in this contest.
Yeah, if you're Zapata, you might just swing here. See if you can do something. She does, and she will take a strike.
Count's full. Here it's Littlehale at the plate.
Only 2 ways this can go. We can have a man on first, or we can end it, and we will have a man on first.
So it's a walk, full count walk at that. Kiki Mays into the box here now. We'll see what she's got left in the tank.
2 flyouts to her name so far. Would love a third. Man on first. Here's the pitch.
Oof, fouled straight back for strike number 1. Riley Ford, 2 strikes away from ending this one.
Oh, 1.
Oof.
Swing. Hard miss. 0-2.
Great changeup. Had the batter fooled, and now Mays down to her last strike. Agnes Scott down to their last strike here as Riley Ford looks for the complete game 2-hitter. Up in the zone. We'll have to wait one more pitch to see if this is indeed it.
One, two, Ford goes for the strikeout. Instead, it's just going to be flied out, and that's the end of the ball game.
That is your game. Piedmont sweeps Agnes Scott in pretty dominant fashion there. This one goes the distance. The first one finished in 5. Piedmont moves to 6-0 in the CCS. While Agnes Scott falls to 0-4. Thank you so much for joining us here. The Lady Lions back on the road. They'll head to Covenant on April 4th, and then the next opportunity we'll get to see them is Belhaven, April 7th. So we'll see you on April 7th.